Hi everyone, it's Alyssa here with November's Spice Up Your Kitchen. This month we have a blend of spices. We have mulling spices, which is full of delicious things such as orange peel, star anise, allspice berries, cinnamon, and whole cloves. It's delicious and it smells like the holidays. Here on my stove I have on low a combination of almond milk, and I'm going to be pouring in a thicker milk, which is a macadamia cashew milk. You should really use a can of light coconut milk. It's not as thick as regular canned coconut milk. If you're not dairy free, you're going to go ahead and you're going to use 2 cups regular milk and 2 cups of heavy cream. I'm dairy free and the recipe came from a dairy free website, so we're using a thinner milk and a thicker milk. This is going to help us make the custard for our French toast brioche mulling spice bake. So again, we're going to keep this on low, or kind of like a medium low. I want it to start to simmer once I start combining my ingredients. Here comes the second milk, but I don't want it to boil, especially if you're using real milk. If you boil, it's going to curdle. We don't want that. That is not good, delicious eats. The next thing we're going to add in is maple syrup. Instead of sugar, we're doing maple syrup. It's got a great flavor, and that way we're not adding flavor and sugar. We've got it all right in here. Here come the mulling spices. Your house is going to smell so good now after you do this. I loved the way my house smelled when I was making this, both simmering this mixture on the stove and when the French toast was baking in the oven. It was amazing. I have also sliced up a whole orange. I'm going to put that in there as well to add flavor from the peel. That orange oil is amazing. Our recipe also says that you should add some dried cranberries into this mixture. I don't have dried cranberries, I have raisins, but I didn't want to put it in the mixture. I didn't feel like wasting them, but it just adds another layer of flavor. You do whatever you would like, that's fine. Alright, so I'm going to wait until I start to see some of these little bubbles, until I start to see a gentle simmer. That's what I'm looking for. And once I start to see those bubbles, we are going to make sure that we are stirring. We're going to keep the vigorous, big bad bubbles at bay as much as possible. And what we'll do is give that a stir and then go ahead and cover that with a lid. Bring that down to low. Let it simmer gently for about 15 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to start to get ready to make our custard. All right, see those bubbles? I'm going to go ahead and turn that down to low and put a lid on it. All right, I have egg whites here in my bowl. This is the equivalent of 4 egg whites. And now I'm going to add in 4 whole eggs. I'm going to also add in my vanilla extract now. Add in that beautiful, wonderful flavor of a real vanilla extract. We also need some salt coming up over here. Remember, salt adds and enhances flavor. It doesn't make things salty. If you don't have salt, your food tastes flat. We're going to add in a spice mixture. I have a teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and just a little bit of ground cloves. If you remember from our October spice, which was clove, it is very strong, so we don't need a lot, just a little, and it's going to smell so good. And now we're whisking. We want this to be a nice, homogeneous, smooth mixture, everything all combined, and that will help us have a great custard. This is all mixed up, so I'm also going to take my pot off of the heat, turn that off, and let that start to cool. In the meantime, while that's cooling, I have my brioche loaf. You can use whichever brioche type bread is your favorite. And I'm cutting that up into some big pieces, some smaller pieces, and putting that right into my pan. And then I'm going to have a little nibble of some of the leftover crumbs because I love brioche and it's delicious. Yep, yum. Alright, my liquid has not cooled entirely, but I am impatient and I am hungry. So what I'm doing is I am tempering my eggs. I am slowly bringing them up to temperature by adding just a little bit of the hot liquid at a time. I do not want my eggs to scramble. That is not good eats. Just a little bit at a time. Once my eggs come up to temperature, I can then go ahead and strain the rest of this hot mulling spice milk mixture into my eggs and mix it all up. So I'm testing. It's definitely come up to temperature, so I'm ready to put the rest of this in here. I want to get all of that out. I'm going to press it down, get the liquid and some of those oils from the orange out there and into this mixture. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour that over my bread. My brioche is going to soak it up. It's going to be wonderful. So good. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is add some raisins and dot them in all over the place. Again, the recipe calls for cranberries. I didn't have cranberries. Raisins are just as good. So you can do either or a mixture of both. I'm also going to dollop in about 2 tablespoons of cranberry preserves, or like a cranberry sauce. The recipe calls for apple cinnamon, which would be great. I couldn't find it. I use cranberry. It's amazing. I'm going to now let this sit. It says overnight in our recipe, but you want to do at least a few hours. When I am ready to bake it, I'm going to make sure my oven is heated to 350 degrees. I'm going to top it with a little bit of butter all over the bread, and we're going to put it in the oven for about 45 minutes. You'll see we're just going to make sure that the custard is set. See, look at how this is golden brown and beautiful. The custard's not jiggling around anymore. The bread has soaked it up. What hasn't been soaked up is now baked and beautiful and delicious, and I'm gonna dig in. My house smells amazing. This is perfect for the fall and holiday season. And you can top this however you would like. Serve it a little bit warm. You can top it with some chopped nuts, some more dried cranberries, warm maple syrup, some more butter, powdered sugar, whatever you would like. This is it. This is delicious. I hope you love it and enjoy it as much as I did. And I'll see you for next month's spice.